Hey guys, today we're going to make a mold master for the silicone mold here. So let me just show you what's going on. Similar to the silicone molds, we're going to use a 3D printed mold box. And unlike the silicone molds, the 3D printed mold box is not going to be recoverable. So when this dries, it's going to be permanently stuck to this 3D printed plastic. So, I mean, you can still use it. And the 3D print files are available on my website for free. The link will be in the description. And I'll also print these if you want to purchase them. But, like I said, unlike the silicone molds, with the resin, we're going to use resin to create a master of the silicone mold so that we can create more silicone molds. But like I said, this will not be recoverable. And the resin we're going to use today is going to be Alumilite Slow. So once I mix this up, I'm going to put, just like the silicone molds, I'm going to also put a laminating sheet on the bottom of the silicone, of the 3D printed mold box. And that'll create a good bond without letting the resin escape. And then once I mix it up and put it all in, put it all together, we're going to put this in the pressure pot for at least a day. I haven't used Alumilite resin yet, so I don't know what the exact... It says on here it's a 12-minute work time with 2 to 4 hour demold time. And I'm going to guess, I really don't want to mess with it much until the next day anyway. So we'll see after a day if it looks hard enough to remove. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mix up the resin. I'm going to say about 300 grams of resin in order to fill this pretty high. So let's see how that goes. So that's 4 pumps. Let's see how much that is. That's about just over 100 grams. So let me first put the laminating sheet on. This doesn't have a whole lot of work time, so I don't want to mess around too much. That looks pretty even on all sides, at least even enough to make a mold. So, saw a piece of dirt or something sneak in there. I'm just using a piece of the laminating sheet like a lint roller to get any of the little junk that fell in there. And you want to make sure you have a real good seal before you pour in your resin. Okay. So in the cardboard on the bottom, that's just to make it easy to move it around. So again, this was 103. So I'm going to tear that out, do 4 pumps of side B, and then see what the weight is. Okay. 115. So I need 12 more grams of side A. Let's see what that does. 4, 11. That's really close enough, but Let's just do a little bit more. 11.38. 12 something. The nice thing about the Alumilite resin is that it's nice and easy to mix. It's not too thick. So this is about 225 grams altogether. I'll probably add another 100 to that. That does look pretty well mixed now. So let me go ahead and pour that in. And I'm just trying to tap out those air bubbles that are getting trapped in this mold. These are the same rings that if you saw my silicone mold video, the same ring mold. So there's undercuts in here that you want to kind of tap out the bubbles, make sure it gets out of, even though I'm going to put it under pressure. Okay, I'm probably going to do just a little bit more. And we do have a little bit of a resin leak on this side, probably because the mold wasn't perfect, but also with resin, unlike silicone, it can be much thinner, so it will leak out of small holes. So I'm going to start up my glue gun and hold it down and kind of seal it as it's leaking out to make sure not too much gets out. Let me check to make sure it's not leaking anywhere else. There might be a little leak there, so we'll just touch that up. And we'll take a good look around. I don't see anywhere else leaking, so I think we should be okay. So just a note, good idea to have your glue gun available. If you have one, or you could probably use duct tape or something. Although I don't think tape would work as well as hot glue. So anyway, I'm going to put a little bit more resin in here. Let's say another, I don't know, we'll go for 1 pump of each. See how that goes. 1 pump of side A is 26. And 1 pump of side B, 29. So we'll try to get 3 more grams in here, just to be safe. 2. That should be a little over 3. Yep. That didn't add a whole lot of volume, but it should be fine anyway. Now I'm going to take a toothpick and I'm really going to go through those individual rings and try to get out any air bubbles. This only has 12 minutes work time, so I'm going to try to work fast here. And by the way, I'm not positive this is necessary, but I want to reduce my chances of having any bubbles stuck in the undercuts of those rings. So I'm going to take a little bit of time just to remove any excess bubbles. If you had a fairly straightforward mold without any undercuts, This definitely isn't necessary. Okay, guys, I'm gonna put this in the pressure pot, and then we'll see what it looks like. It still has quite a bit of bubbles in there. It has quite a bit of bubbles right in the undercuts. I can still see them clearly, but I'm hoping that the pressure pot will collapse the bubbles, and it won't be a problem. So we'll see you back in a day or two. All right, guys, so it's probably 12 hours later, and this is very hard. Definitely cured. Not sure what the artifacts are on the surface here, the white spots. Could be resin that didn't quite mix so well. So let's take it out of the mold. Let's see what we got. Okay. So there's our original mold. And here is our mold master. And it doesn't look like we're going to get the 3D printed part back out. So I'm just going to leave it in there. But with this, we can go ahead and create this mold anytime we want. Alright guys, it looks like this mold came out pretty good. I don't see any air bubbles in any of the important areas. There was a little bit of air bubbles just on the surface, but I don't see anything beyond the surface. And none of the important parts, none of the undercuts seem to have any bubbles or anything like that. If you found this video helpful or you want to support my channel, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks guys, have a good one.